Hello folks, so I have a new camera, hope you can see me a bit better now. I am in two very nice winning trades on the Japanese pairs, currently running in around 12%. So really happy about that, we will take a look at that a bit later. But first, as usual, we're going over the euro and the US dollar. For this one, I believe you already know what I will say, so it's definitely stuck in this sideways range. Definitely not seeing a move up or a move down. When I see this sort of price action, I'm being very careful. So right now, I'm just waiting for a large impulse to the upside or a large impulse, of course, to the downside. So something like this, and then perhaps a nice flag or a nice break and retest, or possibly a similar thing to a downside. So a nice push down, such as this one, and then either a nice flag or a nice break and a retest. Definitely interested in seeing that, but currently this is definitely not on my radar. This pair is looking very crappy, so I'm just being a lot more patient. This is common euro US dollar price action. One more thing what I would say, do be careful of these areas. So on the lower time frames there are traders selling the top, buying the bottom. They usually keep their stops in these boxes right here, so these are liquidity areas. What the market makers like to do, well, they like to push into these areas and then retrace. What we want to do is we want to first follow the market makers, but we do not want to get caught in these liquidity areas. So market makers do a fake out, we are more patient, but when the market makers push the price up and then the price continues up with another candle and then possibly another candle, well, then it's a nice signature that the market makers have committed to a certain direction. That's where we come in, that's where we buy or sell. Okay, so this is euro and the Japanese yen. So I am in a long trade with a 13 pip stop loss. This one right here. Okay, so it's running at about 7.1%. And what I'm seeing currently, well, price did break and retrace, then we did reverse. And let me talk you through my methodology. Basically what I was seeing a V reversal, a range, and I was seeing a continuation to the upside. So I was seeing this V, and this was a tough trade to spot. I was definitely on the fence, but then I was like, well, what is wrong with this trade? I couldn't find anything that is actually wrong with the trade. So I did end up taking it. It did fit my plan. If it fits my plan, if I can't find anything wrong with it, I am taking the trade. I saw a V reversal, then we started ranging here, and then we continued, pulled back, continued again. So this is a really good high probability setup. V reversal, range, push up. And of course there is this 3 candle setup where we have a push, 1 candle pullback. The pullback is blue, so the pullback is with the trend, and then price continues. We got a very nice clean close, and at this point I did have an order on. When the next candle pulled back, I did leave my order on because it would not show me momentum shift if I was tagged at this point. And with such a high probability setup on a Friday, I was happy to take the trade. Of course, Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, I tend to be a bit more lenient with taking setups. So we will see what will happen. Hopefully, what EJ likes to do, EJ likes to push up and then it likes to do a quick V reversal and then it takes us out for a loss. So hopefully that doesn't happen. This is what EJ likes to do. It gives you some large profit and then it says kind of screw you and reverses. So we shall see what will happen. I am not trading anymore, so maybe I'll take a scale in until 5 p.m. London time. So my cutoff time on a Friday is 5 p.m. We will see what will happen. If I get a scale in like this, I will look to buy. This is now trending heavily to the upside. I am really liking this price action for a scale in, but I just, maybe we'll get a scale in, maybe we will not. Again, market will show us. On a Monday, I will see what will happen. I will probably hold this trade over the weekend. If on a Monday the price continues, we get another setup, I will definitely look to enter. If we get a V reversal at this point, such as this one, I will look for a range and to push down, and then I will look to sell. So if market goes up, I'll look to scale into my position. If the market reverses, I will look for this exact sort of a setup, but just flipped to the downside. V, range, push up. Okay, and to break down the trade, there were two major confluences for the trade. The first one was the V, the range, the push up, and the second one was this 3 candle setup right here. Push up, 1 candle, blue pullback, and then we continue with a clean close. When you see this sort of a setup, it usually continues with the trend. So if I have two high probability confluences, I'm 100% taking the trade. Moving on, Aussie US dollar. I wasn't in any sort of a trade at this point. So right here, I know some people did take a trade. For me, the break was just not enough. Maybe it was worth taking, so something for me to backtest and research in the future. Maybe some people took a short trade right here. For me, the break was just too small. It was around, I believe, 2.6 pips. Yeah, just too small for me. I'm looking for maybe 4 pips minimum. But I will, of course, backtest the setup, see if it's worth being a bit more aggressive, if the price is heavily trending to a downside. I was definitely looking for a short trade somewhere in this area, 100% looking for a short trade, but I did not get an opportunity to enter anywhere in this downtrend. What ended up happening, unfortunately, we did start to descend right here, and then we started to ascend. I did actually have an order on, so I did have an order on right here. This was also a really high probability setup for me. Really clean descending price action, breaking, leaving wicks. This was like a 10 out of 10 setup on the Aussie US dollar. When you see a large downtrend and then you see this really clean descending with small candles, then you see one big blue candle showing us momentum to the upside. Just compare the size of the blue candle. Look at the size of the blue candle. It's much bigger than anything in this descending channel. And of course, this is taking out stops. So each of these areas is a small liquidity area where the retail traders usually keep their stops. Market makers try to screw them out of their positions, so they take them out in each of the legs. We look for evidence that the market makers are in. This blue candle was definitely evidence. I did have an order on right here, 13 pip stop loss. I did not get tagged, unfortunately. Next candle showed me a bit of a wick, and for it to enter, it would have to engulf 2 candles. It would show me a momentum shift, so this would be the size of the pullback, and that's kind of a momentum shift for me. Pullback would be too big, so I removed the order. That was about it. Removed the order, and then price went from a descending into an ascending channel, signaling more range-bound price action. I don't believe I will get any sort of opportunity today, but on a Monday, I'm looking for a large impulse up, flag or a break and retest, or I'm looking for a large impulse down, a flag or a break and a retest. We shall see what will happen on Monday, of course. Aussie Japanese yen. So for this one, I am also in a long trade. What I was looking for at this point, I was definitely looking to sell. This looked like a very healthy, strong downtrend to me. So right here, large push down, pullback, large push down, pullback, large push down, and just look at the pullbacks. Really small, maybe 2-3 candle pullbacks. Definitely not showing us momentum to the upside. So when you see these small pullbacks, it is the best sign that you can get. So I was very confident in looking for a sell. Unfortunately, I did not get an entry. At the bottom, we created a large warning sign where we pulled back, broke the low, left the wick, retraced. Then we started ascending. So let me analyze my entry right here. Then we did start to ascend, and then we impulsed the upside out of that ascending. Why did I take the trade? Well, push up, pull back, continuation, 2 really clean candles with clean closes. So just look at the size of the candles. They're perfect. blue, very big, clean close on the top, consecutive candles, pullback, one candle pullback this week doesn't matter, so this wick right here doesn't really matter to me. What matters is just a one candle pullback, no shift, so no big red candle, and then we continue with another two very clean consecutive candles, bit of a wick on the top, not a concern for me. I don't care since this is a high probability setup for me, especially on a Friday. This sort of two candles up, one candle pullback, two candles continue. My order was on immediately. We pulled back a bit, and then the next candle did tag me in. So my order was at the most recent high. I got taken in, and now it's running in some profit. So what are my plans? Well, my plans are either to look to scale in, so I'm looking to get another buy position, or I'm looking for a flag, or what we can also get is price can stop us out, we get a V, push down, I will look to sell on a Monday. I don't believe this sort of a setup will develop in the next 3 or 4 hours. I mean, it 100% won't develop. It takes at least 1 or 2 days for the setup to develop, such as this one. So I will be looking for a V, a range, push down, and then to sell. That's about it. The pound is range bound for me. I was not looking for a setup anywhere in this price action. I didn't have any orders on. This is now looking like it's definitely slowing down. Descending into an ascending, into another descending. So definitely highly range bound. What I'm looking for, especially on the pound, is I need to get the large impulse to the upside, flag or a break and a retest. Or I need to get a nice large impulse to the downside, also a flag or a break, and a retest of the most recent low. So on the pound, as you know, I'm being the most careful. I'm not trading reversals, only trading continuations. For a continuation, I need to see a nice push. What is a nice push on the pound? This is a nice push on the pound. These 1, 2, 3, 4 consecutive large blue candles with nice closes on the top. That is what I like to see. After that point, I'm looking for a break and a retest, or I'm looking for a flag. In this area, I did not take this trade because of the huge wick. So right here, I was not looking for a trade because it printed a very large wick. So a big warning sign to me. Moving on, pound is a bit boring, but NJ is a bit more interesting lately. This one I did have an order on. Right about here, actually had 2 orders on, both of them are now removed. This was looking textbook, 10 out of 10 trade for me. I'm taking this all day. Prior price action was trending down. Then we kind of slowed down a bit, created a bit of a range. But then out of the range, we did start to impulse to the upside. Pull back, just a 1 candle pullback. We continue. Just look at the size of these 2 blue candles. Clean close, clean close. This wick does not matter to me. I don't care about the wick, but then we, just a sec. Let me go back. So we were here. Okay. 2 consecutive large blue candles, clean closes, 1 candle pullback. The red candle is very minimal, not showing me a momentum shift. Then we continue. Clean close on the top, a really nice push, and my order was on immediately on the inside bar. 13 pip stop loss, 1 pip below the entry, just to account for the spreads. And then unfortunately I did not get tagged in, so price broke the high before I got tagged in. I did remove my order. Right here I did also have an order on at the inside bar. For me, this was still trending to the upside. Nice push, 1 candle pullback. We continue with a nice push, small pullback. We continue with a really nice clean close, large blue candle. Look at the size of the blue candle, compare it to any candle prior. Definitely showing me large momentum to the upside. My order was on. Unfortunately, next candle printed a large wick. At that point, after a wick a wick, I'm expecting a reversal or a range. So I did remove the order. What's happening now, this pair is trending up. This pair is highly trending up. I am really liking this price action. If I get an opportunity to buy, such as a break and a retest like this, I might take it. Again, I'm trading until 5 p.m. London time. On a Monday, I will also be looking to get in on the trend with a flag or a break and a retest. Now, as we know, markets go up, markets go down. If the market decides to reverse, I will look for a range, push down, and then I will look to sell on a flag or a nice break and a retest. That's about it for the trade recap and forecast. Hope you guys took some value. Let's see how the trades play out. Good luck with your trading. See you guys in the next trading week.